Hello again and welcome to beautiful Pickett, Wisconsin on the 17th day of April. It is a Friday. On the stand once again I have Garrett's Super Tigre G4500 engine, and today is going to be actually the first trial of Garrett's fuel blend called Swamp Juice. Now before anybody starts making comments and asking questions about it, don't bother, because I don't know what the constituents of this swamp juice are, and I just spoke with Garrett and he said he's constantly making changes, and this batch that I've got is months old, so he is making changes to it continuously, and it may not even be close to the same what he's running now, what I've got. So that's the disclaimer on the fuel, but I am running a new OS G5 plug, and I've got a 20x8, I think it's a master air screw prop, so it should allow this thing to turn up more. I have no idea what to expect. I've got my tank elevated to a better position, and all we got to do now is just give it a shot and see if I can get this thing to run and tuned. And then at some point, if I get this thing running with this fuel, what I want to do is maybe fill it all the way up so that it's at 16 ounces, and then just run it continuously at varying throttle speeds as if I'm flying, to try to get an idea of how long runtime you would get with a certain amount of fuel in the tank. But that will be a separate video completely. This one is just, does it run? Can I start it? Can I tune the engine? Those types of things. Okay, so that was a successful run with this fuel. It took a little bit longer to get it started than I had hoped, but I got it fired up. And that's why you missed me starting. It was like I was sitting there flipping, nothing happened. I put some fuel into the top of the combustion chamber, flipped it a few times, and I turned the camera off, and then it fired up, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to turn the camera on. So I ran over there and hit play or record, and it was already running. So anyway, that was a good example or sample test run. Now what I think I want to do is I want to top this thing off and run a separate video of just a time trial of various throttle settings to see about, simulate flying as much as possible and see about how much runtime I can get on this. So I have not run this engine with a 20x8 prop with glow fuel, so I'm not sure what its peak RPM would be with that, and I do not have glow fuel with me to test that. However, this sounded pretty good at about 7,200 RPM, which is what it was turning with this fuel, and I was able to get it down to idle about 1,500, but it looks like, even though I've got with the throttle stop screw set to an opening on the carb, that's too low to actually maintain operation of the engine. So I'm gonna have to make a little bit of an adjustment so I can just kind of pull this all the way back and have it sit idle, because I was sitting there having to kind of try to tweak it like this, and then it would die, and then I shut the video off. But anyway, successful run with Garrett's Swamp Juice formula. You'll be seeing a lot more runs this season with different engines running this fuel also.